Namaskar everyone and welcome to the Geeta Satsang for today. So let us get started. Wish you all at the outset, wish you all a very happy Vaikunta Ekadashi and a very happy Geeta Jayanti also. So let us start with our Satsang. Let us do the Prarthana. By the Guru's grace and the will of Sri Krishna, we have all assembled for this Geeta Satsang. May we have their guidance to be able to learn and adopt the things which will help us to grow spiritually. Let us chant the shlokas. Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum krishnaya vasudevaya haraye paramatmane pranatah kleshanashaya govindaya namo namaha. नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः रामानुजतया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. So with prayers at the lotus feet of the Acharyas, let us take up our shloka for today. So we have been discussing the third chapter. And in last time satsang, we saw the third and fourth shlokas where Krishna started explaining to Arjuna about karmayoga. So today we will take up the fifth shloka in which Lord Krishna says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. So he is explaining to Arjuna that there is no one who can remain without action even for a moment. Kshanamapi, without doing any action for even one moment, there is no one who can be like that. Indeed, all beings are compelled to act. They are bound to act. They can't stay without performing action. And why is that? Because of their qualities, which come from the three gunas, right? So what exactly is Krishna trying to explain in this shloka? We will study in detail. So as the shloka says, no one can remain without performing action for even one moment. That means at every time, whether we are aware or we are not aware, we are doing something or the other. Now, why this is relevant here? Why Krishna is explaining this? Now, Arjuna's attitude is that I don't want to hurt my elders. I don't want to fight with them. I don't want to get papa by doing wrong things, by fighting against my own people, by killing them, right? So he is saying, I won't do anything. I won't fight. And I will do jnana yoga. I will go take sannyasa and I will practice contemplation on the Lord. So what Krishna is saying that even if you get into a situation like that, where externally you are giving up the world and giving up fighting or giving up other actions, your very nature is such that you cannot stay without doing an action. So let us think of our life. Now, right from the time when the baby is born, right, we keep doing something or the other. As soon as the baby is born, it comes out of the mother's womb, it cries. Then all the time the baby is wailing or it is smiling or it is laughing, it's moving its hands, it's kicking its legs. Now, all these things, if you go to see, no one has taught that baby, isn't it? Then how is that body able to perform those actions? Because these are coming from impressions of the past life vasanas. In all the previous janmas which that Atma had taken, it has performed karma repeatedly. It has done these things repeatedly. So that is why the memory of that is there. And because of that, as soon as the baby is born, it starts performing some or the other action. So what the acharyas are trying to explain is that doing action, doing some karma is familiar to us. Now, if you take a child who is just starting to learn alphabets, do you think that just by looking at something the child will know the alphabet? No, you have to teach, right? So jnana is something which you have to learn, but karma is something which we are very used to because of the vasanas of the previous births. So karma is something which comes naturally to us. Jnana is something which is unnatural for us. We have to put effort. And so, this whole thing of performing an action without being aware that we are doing the action, that doing action without awareness is karmayoga. Whereas doing something effortfully, doing an action with effort is jnana yoga. Now, here in this shloka, you can see that here the acharyas, in the shloka, Krishna says sarvaha. So all beings. So what is this relevance of this all beings? Swami Vedanta Deshikar, who is the acharya giving the commentary on Ramanujacharya's Gita Bhashya, he says this sarvaha, it implies every single person. To what extent? Even a person who has vowed that he will do nothing at all. Let us say there is a person who wants to completely renounce all actions. And he says, I'm not going to eat anything, I'm not going to drink anything, I'm just going to be quiet in one place. Now, even such a person, externally, he may not be doing actions, but isn't he blinking his eyelids? Does he not breathe in and out? If he falls asleep, will he not snore in his sleep? Right? So, all these are karmas which are going on. Whether he is aware of them or he is not aware of them, whether he is doing them with effort or they are happening without his effort, still some actions go on taking place. Why is it not stopping? Why doesn't the karma stop although the person decides to not do anything? Because the karma is something which comes from the three gunas, the satva guna, the rajo guna, and the tamo guna. And these satva, rajo, tamo gunas are born from prakriti. So since this sharira is born from prakriti, we are bound, when this atma is attached to the sharira, it is going to have these three gunas. So because the three gunas are there, all actions take place. Now, based on which guna is predominant in an individual, their actions will change according to that, right? Like, for example, let us say that we are here now, sitting and listening to this Gita, to the Bhagavad Gita. We are reciting the Gita shlokas. So, at this point of time, in us, there is more of sattva guna. Now, suppose you keep listening and after some time you start feeling sleepy. Now, why did that sleepiness come? Because of a predominance of tamo guna. Now, suppose by hearing the Bhagavad Gita, you feel motivated to take some action, to make some, change. Then that is because of a predominance of the Rajoguna. So, at all point of time, because we are in this Atma is in this Sharira, and that Sharira is made from Prakriti. So, there is Sattva Rajo Tamo Guna. And because of these gunas, we are bound to perform some or the other action. So that the fact that action will happen is not in our control. It will continuously go on happening and you can do nothing to stop those actions. But one thing which is in our control is that we can choose what type of karmas we want to perform. I can choose whether to listen to Bhagavad Gita or to go and sleep in bed. I can choose whether I want to go to the temple and do seva to the Lord or I want to waste my time watching movies. Like this, I have a choice. So we must make sure that we are bound to perform karma. But what choice we have? That we must perform those karmas. We must perform karmas in such a way that our sattva guna increases and our rajo tamo guna decrease. So that is the viveka that we must cultivate. And that is the choice that the Lord has given to us. Although we are bound as atmas in jivatmas in this sharira, we are bound to continuously do some karma, but we have a choice about what kind of karma we can perform. So even if you decide not to do anything, you can't escape from karma. You will keep doing karma. So what is it that we must do? We must do the right kind of karmas. So when rajotamo gunas will decrease, when we do the right type of karmas, our sattva guna increases, our rajotamo gunas decrease. And when this happens, we get a certain level of maturity. And by getting that maturity, we will then be able to move on to the next stage of jnana yoga. So here actually Krishna has explained very beautifully. The acharyas explain, they give a commentary saying that what are the steps that Krishna has laid down now for Arjuna. He has laid down for Arjuna means it is also for us. So he is telling us, first, you do karma yoga. You are bound to do any kind of karma. So when you do that karma without ahankara, without mamakara, without feeling that you are the doer, without thinking that the action is yours, without seeking any results from that action, without expectation of a good result for yourself, when you do the action as an offering to the Lord, when you do the action as with the bhava that Lord is getting it done through me. When you do like this, you are performing karma yoga. So the first thing is you do karma yoga. When you do karma yoga, I get pleased. I means the Lord is saying, you do karma yoga, I will get pleased. So when the Lord is pleased, what he will do? He will destroy all our papas. The minute our papas are destroyed, what happens? Our rajo tamo gunas will start decreasing or they will come under our control. And our sattva guna will start increasing. The minute our sattva guna starts increasing, we will get Atma Darshana and we will proceed to the next level of Jnana Yoga. So, Karma Yoga is the foundation. You cannot avoid it. Whatever you do, you cannot avoid actions. The only thing we have is the choice that whether we want it to be just plain action, just plain karma, or we want to make it into Karma Yoga. If we are just doing action, there is nothing that is going to come as the outcome of that. Or rather, there is no positive outcome. That karma, what we are doing, will only get us more and more caught up in the cycle of samsara. But if we do our karma as Karma Yoga, then that will be the foundation to take us further ahead on the path towards Jnana Yoga. So that is what Krishna is explaining to us. Do Karma Yoga, you will please me. When I am pleased, I will destroy your papas. When your papas get destroyed, your Rajotama gunas will decrease. Your Sattva guna will increase. You will get Atma Darshana and you will move on to Jnana Yoga. So this is what we have to learn from this shloka. Krishna is telling that nobody can remain without action even for one moment. So all beings are compelled to act because of sattva, raja and tamoguna. So what is it that is the message for us? That we have to make sure that we do all our actions with awareness. Then our karmas will become karma yoga. And when we do like this continually over a period of time, we will reach the stage where we will get into jnana yoga. So how we must do this karma yoga? Further, Krishna is going to explain in the coming shlokas. Now, today being Geeta Jayanti and the day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi, it is going to be very sreshta for us to recite some parts at least. We are not able to recite the entire Bhagavad Gita. At least we can recite some parts of that. So I had put the message in the group. I hope all of you have your Bhagavad Gita book ready with you or you have it open in your phone at least. I will chant and you can in your places wherever you are, you can follow along. It will not be very convenient if all of us switch on our audios and start chanting. So anyway, I will start and you can chant along with me. We will first chant the 12th chapter and let us see if we have time more, we will chant the 15th chapter. So this 12th chapter is called as Bhakti Yoga. And it is, one thing is, it is a very short chapter. There are only 20 verses in that. And the main thing is that in this chapter, the Lord is explaining how, although there are many different paths to attain Him, but Bhakti Yoga is the most superior of all of them. And even in that, you have a choice. You can do Bhakti to an impersonal Lord, or you can do it to the Lord who is having a form. So doing to the impersonal Lord is difficult for an ordinary person because we need something on which to anchor our mind. When we do that, that means we will attach our attention, we will attach our whole effort towards a particular form of the Lord. And when we do that, it becomes easy for us to develop bhakti towards the Lord. And then in this chapter, the Lord has also described what are the qualities of a bhakta. So in due course of time in our satsang, we will come to this chapter. But for today, let us chant this 12th chapter. Okay, so we will start now. अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः Arjuna uvacha evam satata ye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Shri Bhagavan uvacha मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवं सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसां मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागस्त्यागाश्चान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखः सुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः. So next we will move on to the 15th chapter. अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः पुरुषोत्तमयोगः. श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन छित्त्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञै गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्. Just 1 minute, please. न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्. श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकं गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम् द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः यस्मात्क्षरमतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेवमसम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत. ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे पुरुषोत्तमयोगो नाम पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः. So let us pray that Krishna will bless us on this auspicious occasion of Vaikuntha Ekadashi and Geeta Jayanti. Let us try and remember him more and more. Let us chant his name more and more. And let us pray that we should get the blessings of the Lord so that our sadhana continues without any break, without any gap, and with constant awareness of what is it that we need to improve upon, how much further we have to go on this journey, and with constant prayers to the Lord that He should guide us, with prayers to the Acharya that they should guide us on our path. So let us offer Kritagnyata now, gratitude at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and Guru for inspiring us to start and join this satsang. And let us pray for their blessings and grace to always be on us. So because we have a few extra minutes, I will just very briefly give an account of, you may have observed in the south of India, in all the temples on this day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi, there is special door which is set up, which is called as the Vaikuntha Dwara. And it is believed that passing through that door is the act which will make sure that we get moksha at the end of this body. That moksha is guaranteed if you walk through that um, Vaikuntha Dwara. So, what is the reason for that particular norm being followed? So, there was once an incident when the pralaya was there. At that time, Lord appeared in the form of Vatapatrashayi, a small baby form of the Lord lying on the banyan leaf, and everything else has been submerged in the pralaya. So at this time, in that form, the Lord commanded Brahma to do to start his process of creation. So as Brahma started doing his srishti, he gradually developed the ego that I am the one who is creating. He forgot the fact that the Lord who is Antaryami within him is giving him the power to do the srishti. So when that thought came that I am the one who is creating, the ego in Brahma started rising very greatly. And at that time, from the 2 years of the Lord, two asuras came there called Lokan and Kantan. So these two asuras, they pounced on Brahma. Now, immediately as soon as this happened, Brahma realized his mistake and he begged forgiveness of the Lord. So now, since the Rakshasas were bent on destroying Brahma, the Lord himself had to destroy those two Rakshasas. So then, when he destroyed both of them by getting rid of that physical form of theirs, they lost that physical body and they attained the divine form and they got entry into Sri Vaikuntha. So they were given entry through the gate, the Dwara, which is in the northern direction. And that is why these two asuras, they prayed to the Lord and they said that we are very grateful to you for making us Nitya Suris, for giving us this status that we are having permanent vasa in Vaikuntha. In the same way, we ask you, O Lord, that please grant this boon that in all your temples on the earth, wherever somebody enters on this day through the Vaikuntha Dwara, they will permanently get entry at the end of their life. They will get entry into Vaikuntha. And that is why this Vaikuntha Ekadashi, every temple, Vishnu temple, they will set up what is called as the Vaikuntha Dwara. It is also called as the Paramapada Vasal, the door to Paramapada. So that door, if we take darshan of the Lord by passing through that door, it is considered to be very meritorious for us. It will guarantee that we will be able to make the efforts to get to moksha. Of course, we must remember that the simple act of passing through the door and then doing all wrong things in our life will not work. The Lord isn't a fool, isn't it? But these things are told so that they give us this sense that we must perform the righteous actions. We must do what is prescribed to us. And when we do what is told in the right way, with the right spirit, and then we complement that by following all the right actions in the rest of our life also, then the Lord will definitely make sure that we are granted moksha. He will lead us when we do a lot of things which please the Lord, then He will make sure that we get a sadacharya in our life. And once we get an acharya in our life, then the acharya will guide us further and make sure we get to do all those actions which are going to guarantee moksha for us. So this Vaikuntha Ekadashi is also called as Mokshada Ekadashi. So let us pray that the Lord will bless us with the grace of an acharya and that our acharya and the Lord will together lead us towards moksha. So today is a Saturday evening. Everybody may have had their own plans, but I'm so grateful that all of you managed to join the satsang for today. So once again, wishing you all a very happy Vaikuntha Ekadashi and praying that we will continue in this journey of our satsang for many, many more years to come till we complete all our understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. So let Guru and Acharya and God bless us to be able to do this. Thank you everybody for attending. We will meet up again next week as usual on Thursday. Namaskar and thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.